Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. Today, we Group 5 will be presenting the system unit for subject Technology and Information System. So, our group members for Team 5 represented by Muhammad Amirul bin Ramlan, me myself, Saifullah Faiza, and also Muhazidah binti Hamdan. So, without further ado, let's go to our subject that is system unit. So for system unit, what is actually system unit and what's the difference between system unit and system chassis? So system chassis is just a container that houses most of the electronic components that make up the computer system. Meanwhile, for system unit, it contains system electronic components and selected secondary storage devices, which means system unit is containing both system chassis and also the system electronic components. So the next part is about the system unit type. So as of today, we have 5 types of system unit that is available in the world. The first one is desktop. For desktop, the system unit is usually located in separate cache called as a tower unit or also we call as a tower computer. For the monitor that is touch screen monitor, this one is also actually considered as part of the system unit. The next one is laptop. Laptop is more portable and much more smaller than desktop. For laptop, the system unit contains the electronic components, selected secondary storage devices, and input devices that is keyboard and pointing devices. Part of the laptop in the market is also Ultrabooks, which is laptop and tablet in one. Also, a gaming high-end graphic laptop. So the next system unit type is the tablet. System unit for tablet usually located behind the monitor. It is similar to notebook system unit. Uh, for tablet, it is highly portable devices that support the use of a stylus or pen to input. It is much more smaller, lighter than the laptop, however, generally less powerful than the laptop. The next system unit type is the smartphone. Smartphone is the smallest, most popular device designed to fit into the palm of one hand. The system units contain an entire computer system, including the electronic component and also secondary storage and input. The system unit located behind the display screen that is monitor. And the last one is the wearable. The wearable is a computing device that worn on the body. Usually it is worn on the wrist, such as in example, fitness tracker, smartwatch, or hung from the neck like a necklace, or strapped to the arm when we are exercising. Usually, most often used in research that focus on behavioral modeling, health monitoring system, IT, and media development. So the next one, we go to the components. Despite all the system unit devices come in many shapes and sizes, they actually have the similarity in system components. That is, all of them is having system board, microprocessor, and also memory. So from here you can see the desktop, the smartphone, the laptop, the tablet, and wearable that is breakdown. So you can see how the look inside the thing. So the next part, we go to the specific of the component. The first one is system board. The motherboard is the main circuit board of microcomputer. It is also known as the main board or system board. System board usually connects all the other components together to make the computer run. It contains slots for the graphic card, network card, memory card, and all other major components to the computer. It also connects with all external and internal devices and components such as USB devices, audio jacks, and other plug-in variables. Usually for system board, uh, there are electronic system board. We also have an electronic component which is containing socket that is to provide connection point for chip or we also call as a silicon chip, semiconductor, or integrated circuit. The next electronic component in system board is a slot, which is to provide connection point for specialized card or circuit board. And the last one is the bus line, usually provide pathway to support the communication. The next component is socket and chip. For socket, it is the array of pins and the securing mechanism that hold a processor in place and connect the motherboard to available processing power. So depending on the configuration of pin, certain socket may support multiple processor generation. For example, the current LGA 1151 socket for Intel, which supports 7, 8, and 9 generation CPU. The socket usually cannot be swapped out and actually need a full motherboard replacement should you need to take advantage of another interface. And the next component is chipset. Chipset is a group of electronic components on the motherboard that manage data between the processor, random access memory, storage, and other connected hardware. It is a tiny circuit board etched onto square of silicon. We also call silicon chip as semiconductor or integrated circuit, usually mounted on chip carrier. The next component is microprocessor. Microprocessor is the most vital component that must be used and installed properly for the computer to work. It carries out all the main procedures for the computer, also known as a central processing unit or in short as a CPU. Usually, CPU acts as a control unit that carries out the basic instructions that operate a computer. It also performs arithmetic and logical operation, which we usually call as arithmetic logic unit, ALU. And usually, the central electronic chip determines the processing power of the computer. Microprocessor incorporate the function of a central processing unit onto a single or integrated circuit IC of MOSFET construction. Microprocessor is a multi-purpose, clock-driven, register-based, digital integrated circuit that accepts binary data as input, process it according to instructions stored in its memory, and provide results also in binary form as an output. It contains both combination of logic and sequential digital logic, and it operates on numbers and symbols represented in the binary number of the system. So for the next component is the memory. So I will pass it to our team member Nohadida to explain it.
Okay, so for another important component in system unit, it is memory. Memory consists of electronic component that store instructions waiting to be executed by the processors. Memory usually consists of one or more chips on the motherboard or some other circuit board on the computer. There is two type of memories, which is volatile and non-volatile. So volatile memory will lose their memory when the power is turned off. Example for volatile memory is RAM. And for non-volatile, the content will not lose if when we turn off the computer. So example for the non-volatile is ROM and flash memory. So for RAM, we have two type of RAM. There is two type of RAM, which is static and dynamic. So most of the system memory is using dynamic RAM as it is small and cheap. Another memory is cache memory, which is temporary high-speed holding area between the memory and CPU. Additional RAM can be added using an expansion module called a DIMM, dual inline module. Another type of memory is virtual memory. Virtual memory dividing a program between memory and storage, enabling the system to run very large program. For memory, it is expressed in bytes. Next. Another type of memory is ROM, which is read-only memory. So It's referred to memory's chip storing permanent data and instruction. The data cannot be modified on most ROM chips and it is non-volatile. So example of ROM is MROM, PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM. Next. Next type of memory is flash memory. Flash memory is also a non-volatile memory. It can be erased electronically and rewritten. So flash memory stores data and program for many mobile computer and devices such as smartphones, portable media player, and digital camera. Next component it's expansion slots and cards. Expansion slots is a socket on the motherboard that can hold an adapter card. Okay. Adapter card is a circuit board that enhance function of a components of the system unit. Plug and play support allows the computer to automatically configure adapter cards or other peripherals as it is installed. So example of expansion card is a graphic card which provide high quality 3D graphics and animation for games and simulations. Network interface card, which also known as network adapter card. The function is to connect the system unit to a cable that connects to the network. And SD card, which is expansion card for mobile device. So next component for system unit is bus. A bus is a pathway for bits representing data and instructions. It provides data pathway that connects various system components. Bus width represents the number of bits that can travel simultaneously down as a bus. There is two types of bus, which is system bus and expansion bus. System bus, it connects CPU to the main memory, while expansion bus, it connects various peripheral devices to the CPU. So most common type of bus is PCI, AGP, USB, Firewire, and PC card bus. So all these bus, it have its own functions as per its functions. Okay, next component is a port. A port is a point at which peripherals attach to or communicate with a system unit so that it can send or receive data from the computer. So there is two type of ports, which is standard ports and specialized ports. So from the slide, example of standard ports is VGA and DVI, which provide connection to analog and digital device. USB, it is widely used to connect keyboard, mice, printers, and storage. Firewire, which provide high-speed connection to Firewire device such as camcorders, and storage device. And Ethernet ports, which provide high-speed networking ports and allows to connect multiple computers for sharing files. And specialized ports, example eSATA, to provide high-speed connection for external hard disk drives, optical disks, and other large secondary storage device. HDMI provide high definition digital audio and video. MIDI for connecting musical instrument like an electronic keyboard to a sound card, Mini DP or MDP to connect large monitors, and Thunderbolts for high-speed connections to up to 7 separate devices connected one to another. So another component, I will pass to the team member Amirul.
Thank you, Hazida. Now I will proceed our presentation with the next components, which is cables. Cables is one or more wires covered in plastic that transmit power or data between devices or location. Okay. There are two main types of computer cables, which is data cable and power cable. So as the name it is, the power cable is a cable that transmit power to certain something. For example, we have laptop charger here, which is usually cable. This cable, power cable for computer, it from direct current to alternate current. So our plug here will supply a direct current, and this charger will convert it to the alternate current. Okay. Other than that, we have a data cable. A data cable will change or will transfer any data from one device to another device. For example, is HDMI, VGA, Cat5, IDE, SATA, USB cables. Okay, that's for cables. The next component will okay, here we show you the types of cable that we have in this unit system. Next is power supply. Okay, as I said just now, computer requires direct current, power converting alternating current from wall outlets or battery. So for as the example that I shown you just now, it is the example of power supply that we have, the unit system that we have in our power supply. Other power supply is our smartphone charger, and then we have also tablets and mobile device adapters. Okay, next component is electronic data and instruction. Okay, for electronic data and instruction, our voice will create analog or a continuous signal that vary to present different tones, pitch, and volume. However, computer can only recognize digital electronic system. Digital electronic system, as we can see at the figure on the right side of the present on the slide. Okay, like right now, I'm talking. So I'm talking. My voice have different tone, pitch, and volume. So this microphone will send this volume to my computer, and it will read my voice as a digital signal, and then it will convert to analog signal, and then it will go out to the speaker, to my fellow teammates, and for you to hear. It is basically a process that is controlled by electronic data and instruction. Next is a numeric representation. Other than data transmitted by digital and analog signal, data also transmitted with numeric representation. Okay, there is a byte. A byte consists of 8-bit data. So any data that transmitted from one device to another, one component to another component, it will use this numeric representation, which is called binary system of numbers. Binary system of numbers consists of two numbers, which is 0 and 1. Usually each 0 and 1 is called a bit, which is 1 is negative charge, which is turn on, off is 0 with no charge. There is also hexadecimal system uses 16 digit to represent binary numbers. As we can see on the figure on the right side, hexadecimal use 00 to 0F. 0F is 16 if we convert to a decimal number. Okay. Next. Character encoding. Character encoding is standard assign a unique sequence of bits to each character. Here we have ASCII, EBCDIC, and Unicode. Okay. So what is this character encoding? Okay. Character encoding is, for example, is ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Our device, such as laptop, we have this ASCII encoding method. For example, I push the A button on my keypad, S button on my keypad, D button. Our device, our laptop doesn't interpret it as letter S or letter D. It will interpret as the with American Standard Code for Information Interchange first. So the data that they receive from the button that we press, then it will encode that we using this SC and interpret and show it as a symbol S, a letter A, a letter D, like that. So it is similar with the other example, extended binary coded decimal interchange code, which is using the binary number and Unicode as well. Okay, that's all for system unit, component of system unit. So as for the conclusion, any unit that contain electronic components and storage devices used to process data is what we call system unit. Okay, so from the example like smartphones, personal computer, laptops, tablets, and wearables that we see, that we explained just now, it is a system unit, and all the that which have all the components which used to transmit data or to process data. Any data that have input and to process that data at either to travel the data or to process the data, to interpret the data, or just to send it to other device. Okay. That's all from our group. Thank you.